If they can build an airport further out in the scrub or whatever, let them go out and build a cemetery with these roads. There's plenty of transport modes. It's just laziness. It's an easy target.
I spoke to residents who live near Carnarvon Golf Course in Western Sydney, and they said plans to turn the site into a public graveyard is a crisis in the making. They said property prices have plummeted 30% and auctions have completely stalled. They also said the area floods frequently and is the worst possible place to bury bodies. Residents and local politicians like State MP Linda Volz said they're working with the New South Wales State Government and the Metropolitan Memorial Parks to iron out a resolution. The plans are yet to be given the green light by the state government, but residents say it's already too late. The damage has been done.
I'm a member of the club, so it's going to affect my, if they close the club down, I'll go find somewhere else to play.
Leaving for the golfers, leave it for recreation. We've all been here a long time. We've got a few more years to go yet, and a lot of the young people are coming through.
House prices are plummeting. Local real estate agents are telling us they're plummeting, and if you look at the market, it is. They're just not selling like they used to around this place. My wife and I were thinking about selling, but we have stopped that idea now because the reduction in price is probably between $200,000 to $300,000 for our house prices dropped. It's affected a lot of people who are building new properties on the street. They're very worried about how their values of their property are going to go. It's absolutely devastating. I'm just retired and I'm sitting in a 4-bedroom house that I probably don't need to be sitting in. But for me to downsize, I've lost too much money to think about moving. And the government has just forgotten what the people who live here are affected by it. Minns and Camper and Scully, none of them have come out and faced the people who pay their wages, the people of New South Wales. And they should come and face us and talk to us and tell us why.
Well, as you can see, this is a beautiful part of our electorate. In fact, it's the one piece of big green open space we have here. So to take something that is highly used, the most used sporting precinct in our area, and turn it into a cemetery when no one can use it is absolutely something we are opposed to. We're happy to work with them to find alternatives. We've asked them to look at other places. But there's 138,000 spots that have just been built out at Lamia. They want to put another 70,000 here. Essentially, the Metropolitan Memorial Park should make
Residents
$1 billion
and local
out of
politicians
taking
like
our
State
green
MP
spaces
Linda
and
Volz
turning
said
it
they're
into
working with the New
cemetery
South Wales
spaces,
State
and we
Government
get
and the
nothing. We get
Metropolitan
left
Memorial
land that
Parks
cannot be used
to
by
iron out a
the
resolution.
We've recently had to sell my mum's house. It was a deceased estate. We didn't have any choice but to sell because it was either pay the capital gains tax, because obviously 2 years after she's passed, or we had to sell. And so either way, we were going to lose money. We were told by the estate agent, because of the proposed cemetery cost us between $100,000 and $150,000. So everybody knows that the cemetery is going in. This is a very high area for Asian people, so that's your main buyer in this area. And obviously, due to their, cultural backgrounds, they don't want to be anywhere near a cemetery. So unfortunately, we had very little choice but to sell at a very reduced price. Normally, Mum and Dad's house, directly obviously the golf course, it is or was the highest peak in Carnarvon. So if you put a 2-story up, it would have the best view of the golf course. Because I'm obviously mature, it impacts my retirement because it's a lot of money to lose. I guess, every loss impacts, every financial loss impacts, when you get more senior.
This municipality has a really small amount of green space. So to take this away, to me, is just outrageous. They've built up the area with a lot of units. They're planning to build a lot more. Well, where is the green space going to be? We used to have several sales a week in the area. Recently, I've been tracking it for a couple of years actually, but even more so recently, there has been virtually no sales of a weekend. You get that report and there's just nothing. I think if that's happening now, what's going to happen when the cemetery's here? And it did actually drop here after the announcement. So regardless of the things that have happened politically recently and the changes in capital gains, that's not the difference. It started to drop and the sales started to drop as soon as they announced MMP. We are a very tight community and a lot of us have got together and are very determined to make people realise that this is just the wrong thing to do. Because we treat this place as a community hub This is where people get married. This is where people come for Mother's Day, for Father's Day. There's kids' activities here, so it's not just about golf.